You don't need magic to make someone remember you. You don't need to become someone else, learn secret tricks, or follow endless rules about how a woman should act to keep a man interested. The truth is much simpler and much deeper. What creates a lasting connection is meaning. When a woman speaks from a place of honesty, warmth, and quiet confidence, something changes. She is no longer just another person passing through someone's life. She becomes a feeling, a memory, a moment that stays in someone's heart long after the conversation ends. Because people do not remember every word you say. They remember how your presence made them feel. There is a certain kind of woman who does not need to fight for attention. She does not need to compete, perform, or constantly prove that she is worthy of love. There is something peaceful about her, something real. The way she speaks, the way she looks at someone, the way she carries herself creates an emotion that is difficult to explain, but impossible to forget. And maybe somewhere along your journey, you were taught the wrong things. Maybe you were told that to keep a man's attention, you had to become a certain version of yourself. That you needed to always look perfect, always say the right thing, always seem unbothered, always be mysterious, always hide how much you care. You were given so many rules. Don't text too quickly. Don't show too much interest. Don't be too emotional. Don't be too available. Don't be too honest. So many little performances that made you forget the most important thing. The most attractive thing about you was never the mask. It was always you, the real you. The woman who laughs naturally. The woman who speaks with her heart. The woman who does not need to shrink herself just to fit into someone else's expectations. Because, have you ever noticed something? Some people can talk for hours, yet their words disappear the moment they stop speaking. Their conversations are filled with noise, but there is no emotional connection. And then there are people who say only a few words, but somehow those words stay with you. They do not speak to impress. They speak because they have something real inside them. Their words carry emotion. Their energy carries peace. Their presence creates a feeling. That is not magic. That is authenticity. A woman who knows herself does not need to chase attention. She naturally attracts it because she is comfortable being who she is. Her voice has meaning because she is connected to herself. And that is what we are discovering today. The power of becoming the kind of woman whose words are not simply heard, but felt. Imagine yourself standing beside a quiet lake early in the morning. The water is completely still, reflecting the sky like a mirror. You pick up a small stone and gently drop it into the water. The stone is tiny, almost nothing. Yet the moment it touches the surface, beautiful waves begin to spread outward. That is the power of intentional words. Not loud words, not dramatic words, not words designed to get approval, just simple words filled with emotion. A quiet sentence spoken from the heart can create a memory that lasts much longer than 100 empty conversations. But many people do the opposite. They throw too many words into the world. They try too hard to be interesting. They fill every silence because they are afraid of being forgotten. They explain too much. They prove too much. They chase too much. But connection does not come from saying more. It comes from feeling more. The energy behind your words is what gives them life. Because the human heart does not connect through perfect sentences. It connects through emotion. A person may forget exactly what you said, but they will remember the comfort they felt around you. They will remember the way your smile made them feel safe. They will remember the warmth in your voice and the peace they felt when they were with you. That is what creates a deep connection, not perfection, presence. Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." And this truth applies to relationships too. People are not only affected by what they hear, they are affected by what they feel beneath the words. A man does not become emotionally attached because someone gives the perfect explanation of why they are a good partner. He connects because something inside him feels understood. Something feels different. Something feels like home. And maybe the reason you have felt unseen before is not because you lacked beauty, kindness, or value. Maybe you were simply trying to connect through the surface while your heart was waiting for something deeper. You asked ordinary questions. How was your day? What do you do? How was work? And there is nothing wrong with those questions, but sometimes they only touch the outside. The heart connects when someone feels your curiosity, your warmth, your genuine interest. It is not only the words, it is the feeling behind them. So stop believing that you need to become someone else to be unforgettable. You do not need endless techniques. You do not need to memorize hundreds of lines. You do not need to pretend you care less than you do. The woman who leaves a lasting impression is the woman who is comfortable enough to be real. She speaks gently, she listens deeply, she allows moments to breathe, and she understands that her value does not depend on someone's reaction. Because the moment you stop trying to convince someone that you are special is the moment they begin to feel it. Your energy enters the room before your words ever do. And when your heart, your voice, and your presence all say the same thing, people notice, they feel you, they remember you. And that is when a simple conversation becomes something more. A small moment becomes a beautiful memory, and your presence becomes something they quietly carry with them. Now, let's go deeper into the part that most people overlook. The secret is not only in what you say, but in the feeling your words leave behind. A woman's words become powerful when they carry sincerity, warmth, and a piece of her heart. It is not about using complicated phrases or trying to sound impressive. It is about allowing another person to sense the real person behind the words, the one who speaks with honesty, softness, and confidence. Think about the moments that stay with you from your own life. Most of the time, they are not the moments filled with perfect sentences. They are the moments when someone made you feel understood, valued, and seen. Maybe it was the way they looked at you while you were speaking. Maybe it was the calm in their voice. Or maybe it was a simple sentence that arrived at exactly the right moment. Those are the moments the heart remembers, and that is what makes a woman unforgettable. It is not perfection that leaves a lasting impression. It is not appearance alone, and it is not trying to become everything someone else wants her to be. What truly stands out is the way she makes another person feel when they are around her. A woman who understands this stops chasing every moment and stops worrying about whether she said enough, looked perfect enough, or is being chosen. Instead, she becomes present. She enjoys the conversation. She allows herself to laugh, and she lets her personality shine without fear. That energy creates something rare, because there is a difference between someone who wants to be loved and someone who knows she is worthy of love. The first one searches for approval, while the second one shares her light. People can feel that difference immediately, even if they cannot explain it. When you speak from insecurity, your words often search for a reaction. You are waiting for someone to prove that you matter, and that need can quietly weaken your presence. But when you speak from confidence, your words become a gift. You are not saying something to get love, you are expressing yourself because love already exists within you. That is where true attraction begins. It begins when someone feels that your happiness does not depend completely on their attention. It begins when they sense that you are choosing to share your world with them, not asking them to complete it. There is something deeply magnetic about a person who is comfortable in her own presence. Someone who can sit in silence without fear, smile without needing approval, and speak honestly without worrying that being real will make her less lovable. That kind of energy creates emotional safety, and emotional safety is where deeper connections grow. Many people spend so much time trying to become unforgettable that they forget the easiest way to be remembered. Be genuine, be kind, and be emotionally present. The heart is not attracted to a performance. The heart is attracted to truth. Imagine meeting someone who does not try to impress you, but simply shows up as themselves. They listen when you speak, remember the little things you mention, and make you feel comfortable being exactly who you are. Wouldn't that person stand out? Wouldn't you think about them afterward? That is the power of presence. It is not loud, and it does not demand attention. It quietly creates a place in someone's memory. The most beautiful connections are not created by chasing someone's mind. They are created by touching their heart. And sometimes, the smallest moments create the strongest feelings. A gentle smile, a meaningful look, a sincere compliment, or a simple sentence spoken with warmth. Those little moments become the memories people return to, and they are often the reason someone feels drawn to you long after the conversation ends. So never underestimate the power of your energy, the way you enter a room, the way you speak, and the way you make someone feel accepted and appreciated. Those things matter more than you realize, because people may forget conversations, but they rarely forget emotions. They may forget the details of the day, but they remember the feeling they carried home afterward. And when someone associates you with peace, happiness, comfort, and warmth, you naturally become someone special in their world. The goal is not to become someone they cannot live without. The goal is to become someone they genuinely appreciate being around. Someone whose presence feels like a beautiful pause from the noise of everyday life. Someone who brings calm instead of confusion, honesty instead of games, and a feeling that is difficult to replace. So the next time you speak, do not focus only on finding the perfect words. Focus on being fully there. Let your eyes speak, let your smile speak, and let your heart speak. Because the most unforgettable message is not always the one that is said. Sometimes it is the feeling that remains after everything has gone quiet. And that feeling begins with a woman who knows her own worth and is brave enough to show her true self. And now we arrive at the most beautiful part of this journey, realizing that the woman who leaves a lasting impression is not the one who tries the hardest, but the one who is most deeply herself. She is the woman who feels sincerely, loves openly, and allows her true nature to be seen without apology. There is something profoundly powerful about a woman who no longer feels the need to chase, convince, or prove her worth. She does not enter a connection asking herself how to make someone choose her. She enters with a calm heart, knowing she has something meaningful and beautiful to offer. That quiet shift changes everything, because when you understand your own value, your energy softens in the most graceful way. Your words become gentler, your presence becomes steadier, and your love begins to feel safe instead of desperate. You no longer speak from fear of being left behind. You speak from the joy of sharing who you are. And that is the kind of energy people remember long after the moment has passed. A beautiful connection is never built on constant effort, endless messages, or the pressure of trying to hold someone's attention every second of the day. It is built in the small, honest moments that feel real and effortless. A shared laugh that comes from the heart. A meaningful conversation that lingers in the mind. A gentle look that says more than words ever could. A moment where two people feel completely comfortable being themselves, without performance or pretense. Those are the moments the heart quietly treasures. Because love is not only found in grand gestures or dramatic declarations. Sometimes it lives in the quiet details. It is in the way someone listens closely when you speak. It is in the way they remember something small you once mentioned. It is in the way their presence can make an ordinary day feel warmer, softer, and more alive. That is the magic of genuine connection. Not pretending, not performing, not trying to become someone you think another person will love, but allowing someone to discover the beauty that was already there. The truth is, the right person will never be captivated by a perfect version of you. They will be drawn to the authentic version of you, the woman who smiles naturally, speaks honestly, and carries both softness in her heart and strength in her soul. Never forget this. Your worth was never created by someone choosing you. Your worth existed long before anyone arrived, and it will remain long after. The moment you truly understand that, you stop searching for someone to complete you and begin sharing your life with someone who appreciates the person you already are. That is when love becomes peaceful. That is when attraction becomes natural. That is when connection becomes something beautiful instead of something you have to force. So the next time you find yourself wondering what to say, how to act, or how to make someone stay, come back to yourself. Return to your softness. Return to your confidence. Return to the woman who does not need to be the loudest person in the room because her presence already speaks for her. The most unforgettable women are not unforgettable because they tried to be. They are unforgettable because they were real. They gave kindness without losing themselves. They loved without abandoning their own hearts. They showed warmth without begging for attention. And they carried a quiet confidence that made people feel something special whenever they were near. So let your words come from love. Let your actions come from authenticity. Let your presence come from peace. Because the right person will not fall in love with a performance. They will fall in love with the beautiful, genuine soul standing behind it. And when someone experiences that kind of connection, they may forget many details of the moment, but they will never forget how your presence made them feel. As the saying goes, people may forget what you said, but they will never forget the feeling you left in their heart. That is the true power of being unforgettable. Before you leave, take a moment to think about this. Have you ever met someone who didn't speak much, yet still stayed in your mind long after the conversation ended? Maybe it was not their appearance or the cleverness of their words that made them memorable, but something quieter and harder to explain. Sometimes a person leaves a lasting impression simply because of the way they carry themselves, the calm they bring into a room, or the feeling that being around them somehow makes everything seem a little lighter and more real. That is what makes certain people unforgettable. They do not always try to impress, and they do not need to say everything perfectly to be noticed. Instead, they offer honesty, warmth, and a kind of presence that feels rare in a world where so many people are busy performing, pretending, or trying too hard to be seen. The truth is, the people who touch our hearts the deepest are often the ones who are simply genuine, because authenticity has a way of reaching places that polished words never can. So I want to ask you something important. Do you believe a person can become unforgettable just by being their true self? Or do you think attraction depends more on saying the right things at the right time? Everyone has a different experience, and that is what makes this question so interesting. Share your thoughts below, because your answer might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. Be so deeply yourself that the right person remembers the feeling of your presence long after the moment has passed. The most unforgettable people are not always the loudest, the most polished, or the ones who work hardest to be noticed. Often, they are the ones who carry a quiet kind of presence that makes others feel comfortable, valued, and at ease. They do not need to force attention because their sincerity speaks for them. There is something powerful about a person who is honest in the way they speak, gentle in the way they listen, and steady in the way they show up. That kind of presence lingers because it feels real, and real things have a way of staying in the heart long after the moment is gone. When you stop trying to fit into someone else's idea of who you should be, you begin to discover the strength that comes from being fully yourself. You no longer have to spend so much energy performing, pleasing, or proving your worth. Instead, your words become more thoughtful, your actions become more natural, and your energy becomes calmer and more grounded. People are drawn to that kind of authenticity because it creates a sense of trust. It tells them that they do not have to guess who you are, and that honesty is often more attractive than perfection ever could be. A meaningful connection is rarely built through grand gestures or carefully planned impressions. More often, it grows in the small, sincere moments that reveal character and care. A genuine smile, a conversation that feels safe and unforced, or a simple act of kindness can leave a deeper mark than anything done for attention. These moments matter because they make people feel seen without pressure and appreciated without expectation. When someone feels that kind of ease in your presence, they remember not just what you said, but how you made them feel. Never forget that the right people will not be moved by a performance because they are not looking for perfection. They are looking for truth, warmth, and a heart that feels steady and sincere. Your value is not measured by how many people notice you, but by the depth of the connection you create with those who truly understand you. So be deeply yourself, without apology or hesitation, and trust that the people meant for you will recognize the beauty in your authenticity. What lasts most is not the image you create, but the feeling you leave behind. Be so deeply yourself that the right person remembers the feeling of your presence long after the moment has passed. There is a reason certain people stay in our memories even after years have gone by. It is not always because they said something extraordinary or did something unforgettable. Sometimes it is simply because of the way they made us feel. They brought peace when life felt overwhelming, They offered kindness when the world felt cold. They created a space where we felt accepted instead of judged. That kind of emotional impact is something no perfect appearance or carefully chosen words can replace. A person who truly knows their worth does not need to constantly seek validation from others. They understand that their value does not increase because someone notices them, and it does not disappear because someone walks away. This inner confidence creates a different kind of energy. It allows them to love freely, communicate honestly, and build connections without fear. They are not trying to convince anyone of their importance. They simply allow others to discover it. The most beautiful relationships are not created when two people pretend to be flawless. They are created when two people feel safe enough to be human. They can laugh at their imperfections, share their thoughts openly, and express their feelings without fear of being rejected. True connection grows when people stop performing and start revealing the real parts of themselves. That is where trust begins, and that is where deeper emotions are formed. So remember, you do not have to compete for someone's attention by changing who you are. You do not have to become quieter, louder, softer, or different just to be loved. The right person will appreciate the qualities that make you unique. Your honesty, your warmth, your way of seeing the world, and the kindness you carry are the things that create a lasting impression. In the end, being unforgettable is not about making everyone remember your name. It is about leaving a beautiful feeling in the hearts of the people who cross your path. Because long after conversations end and moments fade away, people will always remember the comfort, happiness, and connection they felt when they were with you.